All right, let's get into the build, man. A lot of you guys are going to enjoy this one. And you're going to see clips throughout this too, basically showcasing how this build performs. And I created this build because the St. Elmo engine with the shock rounds has just been plaguing PvP non-stop. And me, I love to create good builds that actually work. I don't like to bring you guys some mediocre stuff that are not going to work. I like to test stuff out and get to it. So I'm not a fan of the Ninja Bike Messenger on every single build because it works and it doesn't work at the same time. It gives you something and it also takes away from you. So we're going to show you my stats really quickly. So as you can see, I'm sitting at 60% critical hit chance and 148% 0.9 critical hit damage, 11% armor damage, and this is the bread and butter right here. 100 across the board, as you guys can see. This is important. Bleed resistance, blind, burn, disorient, disrupt, ensnare, poison, and shock. 100%, guys. Everything. You are going to be immune to all things in this game. Now, I want to note, do not stand inside a tier 6 stinger hive. You just can't stand there and tank it. Because stinger hives are deadly, and we fight them a lot in PvP. Sometimes dudes will throw like 6-0 at you. It's freaking crazy. But foam, shock, ammo, bleed, none of that stuff will work on you, of course. But, you know, it's great. So let's get into the build. As you can see, your weapon preference is your choice. I'm using the Lady Death in a military M870 shotgun, of course. Now with the Lady Death, now I want to note that too. When it comes to PvP, the Lady Death is 60% amplified damage. So each round fired consume a stack, amplifying damage by 60%, kills grant 20% movement speed. So when you're moving, gain 4 stacks and per second up to 8 stacks if sprinting, of course. 32 stacks total, which is a great gun to utilize, especially on a particular build like this. I was trying out the backfire. I like the backfire, but I don't like guns where you have to constantly build up the damage. But the backfire does work greatly on this particular build, but like I said, it's a builder up, and I don't think that's best in slot. Now, it's entirely up to you, whatever you want to do. If you want to run the same Elmo and shock people when they can't shoot you, then go for it. You'll be shocking them, and they can't shock you back. It's fun as hell, I tell you. Now, my secondary weapon, like I told you, I'm using shotgun. This is the kind of shotgun you want if you guys are shotgun guys. This is what you want to go for. Damage targets out of cover, of course, because everybody fights out of cover in this game, and we're using Optimus. There's not too many damage talents in this game for PvP and PvE, I would say, but yeah, Optimus is very great and top tier to utilize. Weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine, which is why I think this talent works perfectly with a shotgun. So 1 off, 2 off, and then that third shot is going to be a one-hitter quitter. Even though sometimes you can cash in with that first round, and it's a one-hitter quitter right there, of course. So, like I said, the Ninja Bike Messenger, it gives and it takes. This is a fun backpack. Sometimes I hate it and sometimes I like it, depending on the build, of course. It's not best in slot all the time, but for this particular build, it's best in slot. Now, we're going to explain the Ninja for you. The Ninja Bike Messenger is this. Whenever you have on 2 or more particular sets, it's going to unlock that 2-piece bonus for you, and I'm going to show you. So by me having on a Ninja Bike Messenger, and I have 1-piece Solikov on, it's giving me the 2-piece bonus set, as you can see. Same thing when you're running a gear set. I'm running a gear set, and as you can see, for 2 pieces of this particular set, it gives me the 2-piece bonus, which is 30% hazard protection. But I'll note that I'm only using 1 piece. So there is difference between gear sets and brand sets, as you can see. It gives you that 2-piece bonus, of course, which is great. So 10% SMG damage, 15% critical hit damage right there. And we also have on a Seska chest plate with Unbreakable for that extra survivability. Note that you're going to get 50% armor back in PvP. I want to let you guys know that. Unbreakable is working again, and no, you can't chest swap anymore with Unbreakable, unfortunately. It was a great bug to utilize in PvP since everybody was running Companion, of course, but it's no longer working that way, so it's fine. Still fun to utilize. As you can see, these are the stats that we have here. Seska gives you 10% critical hit chance and 10% hazard protection for the 2-piece bonuses, of course. Since we got the Ninja Bike Messenger on, it's automatically giving us that extra 10% hazard. And we got a hazard roll right there in the middle, as you can see, 10% max. These are the stats that you want, what your chest plate needs to look like, of course. Now, none of this stuff has to be in order. You can put this stuff any particular spot you want, of course. It's entirely up to you, but that backpack definitely has to be there, of course. Now, for my holster, as you can see, we're running 1-piece Providence. Providence is giving me 15% headshot damage and 10% critical hit chance, of course, which is why we're sitting at a 60 cap, of course. To my gloves, I'm using Walken Harris. So with Walker Harris, we're gaining 5% weapon damage and 5% damage to targets out of cover, which is why we're sitting at 11%. Now I can get this bad boy stack up to 19%. So I'm going to show you the other way if you guys choose to run it like that too. Sometimes, depending on the situation, I like to put it on here contractors with hazard, which we're gaining at 8% right there. And then what I like to do is just take off that Providence and we'll go for the Walker holster, of course. So doing so is going to have me sitting at 19% damage to armor, of course. Now, notice I did lose some crit chance and some critical damage. We're sitting at instead of sitting at 148, we're sitting at 136, and instead of sitting at 60, we're sitting at 51, which is still fine. I know a lot of you guys like to run contractors in this game, and if you guys want to run it, and we're sitting at 1.7 instead of 1.5 now, it still is top tier. As you can see, total weapon damage on my shotgun is still 1.3, of course, and my Lady Death is at 84. So definitely not bad to utilize if you guys want to do something like that. So this is the build right here, man. Like I said, I'm enjoying this particular setup. I've been having the time of my life running this bad boy. And yes, you're still sitting at 100% hazard protection across the board with that on, just to let you guys know. But this is the build. Pistol is your preference. Weapons are your preference. My skills that I'm using, the Defender Drone and a Bleeder Stinger Hive, of course, to create extra crowd control. Because when they're bleeding, they can focus. They try to get out of it quickly when they're bleeding, of course. So this is the total build right here, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Breezy, I'm out.